him.
Yeah, the hunter has become the hunted.
Yes. The guy's kind of an asshole anyway, so you kind of feel like, oh, you got what's coming to you, but then it gets to a point like, man, I feel bad for this guy.
Oh, yeah, you sympathize with the guy. You actually like the guy, yeah.
And the only reason why I like to see them do an American remake is because if they re-release it in America,
nobody's going to see it.
Nobody's going to see it.
Because it's subtitled.
Because it's subtitled, and it will get a very small release. If they actually do an American remake, people know about the movie more.
Yeah.
I mean, people actually might even see the original more than they would see the remake. There was a time I hated when they were doing American remakes until I realized, well, shit, nobody's going to see it anyway. Chances are more people see it if they do an American remake.
Somebody who just doesn't know that it's actually from an original film somewhere else will probably check it out. But as far as the general public goes, it's like, like with what was it when they did Let the Right One In with Let Me In? I was like, it was great acting. I hated the CG though.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm like, I'll never watch this version ever again because the original is there. I own it. So why own it? I can always go to YouTube to watch that really cool car crash scene, which was like the only thing that really stood out to me as far as the remake. Yeah. But other than that,
well, guess what? Nobody else saw it either.
Yeah. And still, it's like nobody saw that movie. I don't think.
Well, I think about movies like The Departed. That's a classic example.
Oh yeah.
Of
which I didn't even. Yeah, I've never seen it. Yeah.
I've never seen.
I've never seen the original,
but I'm still got that on my list to see one of these years.
Yeah.
By the way,
you haven't seen The Departed?
The original?
No, the new.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Everybody's seen it. Yeah. Right. By the way, Wine of the Dead. Any zombie rape in there? Anything?
No.
Okay, good. Because I know they got a movie called Ass Zombies that played.
I saw that.
But I'm just kind of like
that movie. Yeah, that movie is everything you'd expect. I mean, with those like there's one called Manborg. Zombie As. Those are made by this company called Sushi Typhoon. Those are the guys who are like responsible for movies like Tokyo Gore Police and The Machine Girl, which you know what you're expecting when you see the creators. When you see, it's usually just those two directors.
So what is As Zombies like? I mean, are they
it's ridiculous.
I mean, are they like when do they turn other people into zombies by shitting on them or farting on them or something?
All it is like this parasite. It kind of reminded me, like you could tell, it kind of reminded me of Zombie. Have you ever seen Lucio Fulci's Zombie?
Yeah.
Where you got a doctor. He's trying to supposedly trying to stop this thing, whatever it is. But basically, what you find out it's a parasite that turns people into zombies, and somehow these parasites bust out of people's assholes and controls them.
Bust out of people's assholes.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I'm repulsed or this is the most incredible zombie movie I've ever heard.
But the thing is, there's a lot of shit going on in this movie. It's a shitty word in the literal sense, as far as like the first time you see these zombies rise. Yeah, rising from graves. They're rising from the shitter.
Rising from the ass.
Yeah. Well, they're rising from the shitter. While this girl's trying to take a shit, a hand comes out of nowhere, tries to grab her ass, but the zombie hand is covered in shit, so it can't get a grip. And then all of a sudden it gets to the goofy point where the hand starts slapping the girl's ass, and she's still bent over while this is going on for like 10 minutes, going, no, stop it.
While her ass is just waving over.
While her ass is getting the patting of a lifetime, getting a spanking of a lifetime.
From a shitty hand.
Yeah, with a shitty hand.
A shitty zombie hand.
But the movie gets to such ridiculous fucking proportions that by the end of the movie you see almost like an Iron Man scene where a girl is farting through the air, fighting some fucking parasite ass creature, and basically like fucking flying through the air with fart gas coming out of her ass, like letting her fly around like fucking Iron Man.
Well, there you go, people. Yeah. Fantastic Fest.
Great film.
Raping shit zombies.
Fun for the whole family.
And farting flying girls. Yeah. Welcome to Fantastic Fest.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, out of all the things I've seen in Fantastic Fest, what I saw a girl have sex with a half man, half turtle in this movie called Underwater Love, which is fucking brilliant. Another Japanese film. Those Japanese, you gotta fucking love them. Saw that shit. I saw some shit last night where, it was called 100 Great Kills, which is really great.
Oh yeah, they do that every year.
Yeah, which you should check out because me, for one, I always think I've seen probably just about every kill. So I was a little hesitant about going in because I'm like, I don't want to go in there and it's like everything I fucking own. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't. I saw a fucking kill scene involving a goat where this guy is cleaning up one of those tractors where it has like one of those, drill blades that go around and you just know it's like, it fucking demolishes anything in its path. Well, you see this guy cleaning this thing and you're just like, okay, this isn't good. Why has this guy got his harm?
That's like some Final Destination shit.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, this goat comes and starts staring at him. And the guy turns around, sees the goat, he's like, what the fuck? And he runs up, get the hell out of here, goat. And the goat's like, meh. So you see the goat run off, and the guy's like, God damn goats. He goes back into the tractor to clean this shit. And then there's a shot where out of the corner, you see the back of the goat's head come into frame. and it's a real goat, and it's just staring. And then all of a sudden, the goat's like, concentrating on the tractor, and then you see like a light flicker on, like, and then all of a sudden you see like the keys in the ignition, and then magically they turn the fucking machine on, and this guy has his arm, and he looks around, he sees that goat, and the goat's just staring at him, then the machine starts, and his arm's like, and then his leg gets caught up, and then his whole fucking body gets dragged into this drill.
Oh,
and
Jesus, man.
You see his head roll out.
So it's a killer telepathic goat?
It is, and I need to find, I wish I could remember
gotta find out what movie that is.
Dude,
because
wow.
I need to research that because, goats are coming in staring at us like that all the time. What I thought you were going to say? Now, this is what I thought would have been funny. I thought you were going to get the point of the view from the back of the goat's head, and I thought the guy was going to be bent over cleaning the drill, and you're going to see the point of view of that goat running into that guy's ass and kicking him into the drill. He's like, you damn!
That would have been badass.
And then you hear like a music playing.
Yeah.
Charge!
Oh my god! But man, I was like, wow. I said in that same show, I saw people getting killed by a telephone that emanated some kind of sonic thing that made their fucking ears bleed and their eyes bleed, and they started convulsing. And then it's like they got shot into the air for no reason. They convulsed, shot into the air, and then fucking flew out a fucking window for no reason at all. And one of them was like an old man, which was even hilarious. Was even more funnier. Well, more funnier. Which was even that much more hilarious. But I saw that. I saw somebody get ripped. I saw somebody get their legs pulled apart and ripped like a wishbone, which I've never really seen in a movie. One of them
in real life.
No, I don't think where. One of them was a film called Conquest that was directed by Luci Fulci, which I've never heard of. But I was like, okay, wow, okay, now I finally seen a kill like that. But there was another great one. It's this movie called The Burning Moon. I don't know if you've ever heard. Stop me if you ever heard of this.
I have not.
Okay, this movie has the most ridiculous fucking hell scene where this guy out of nowhere he's looking at the camera and he starts to scream. He's like, ah! Camera goes into his fucking mouth. You see it it seems like he's descending somewhere. And I'm talking about the effects they have here is like a cheap 80s, like almost like Access Television kind of effects. He goes into this fucking haunted house, it looked like a cheap haunted house.
Wait a minute, hold on. A guy opens his mouth.
The camera goes in. You're led to believe that he's going, we're going somewhere.
What, into his stomach?
Into his stomach, but then you see all this other weird imagery that makes no fucking sense. And then it stops in a haunted house where it's like if we painted your walls white in here and just fucking put some people in some bloody shirts and, some cheap special effects, have them lay around, like go and buy some fucking goat intestines or something to just lay on the floor. It's a complete hell scene where people are getting tortured, killed. You see people walking around in bare feet stepping on intestines, people screaming, like you hear like the fake screams in the background. But there's a scene where this guy gets like put on a table and this weird looking like zombie fucked up Gwar looking character starts to torture this guy on a table. And you see him grab this huge drill and starts drilling into the guy's teeth to where it looks fake, like a Trauma type film.
Yeah.
But there's something about the fake mustache that they put on this dummy to really make it look like that shit is really going on. They got a 70s fucking porn star strapped in this fucking device.
Wait a minute, it's a dummy with a mustache?
It's a dummy with a mustache, but you see, like, they must have made, like, denture molds or something of teeth. So when you see this drill, the drill's going in, and you're like, oh, fuck. But, I mean,
I like the way you say, like, out of all these cheap special effects, you're like, but man, that mustache was believable.
It was.
That was the most convincing mustache I've ever seen.
It's what sold it to me, and I was just like, okay, wow, this is like the corniest shit. Like, I could have filmed this shit in my backyard, but as soon as that scene came out, I saw that mustache, because the mustache looked just like the guy's mustache who was screaming for dear life. I was like, wow. And then, if that wasn't enough, they ripped the guy in half. Like, they grabbed one leg, pulled another, and this is after they opened up his stomach and just started, like, throwing out his intestines like they were looking for, like, the keys or something. So,
well, hey, man, it's hell in somebody's mouth. What are you supposed to do? It's hell, you know?
Oh, my God.
You're not there to, like, enjoy yourself. You're going to get ripped apart.
Oh, dude.
People keep taking note. Yeah. If you ever make a movie for co-hosts, it can be the cheapest movie, but make sure you put a mustache in there.
Yeah. That's what sold it to me, man.
Yeah, you know, I can see somebody throwing a dummy. Clearly, it's a dummy outside the window. If you do that, make sure you just catch the mustache on its way down. Man, that shit look real.
Oh, man. But I tell you what, watching that shit made me nostalgic for, like, those shot on VHS. Like, literally, you get a VHS camcorder, you put a tape in there and record some shit. It made me nostalgic to look for videos, like horror films like that were shot strictly on video, just because they're so cheap. You know?
Yeah. Taco Bell Lugosi had tons of those, man.
Oh, he did?
I mean, he had a lot of them. I mean, he would, and I wish you would have caught him in time. He spent years collecting DVDs, everything. He would. We talked about this before. He would just go and buy shit just because it was out.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He was compulsive DVD buyer.
Which I know a lot of those people.
Yeah. He never. There was tons of DVDs that he didn't even open for years.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that actually happens. I know people who go and they find, like, bargains, and I'll go to their house, and it's just like the most random shit, like Scorpion King, fucking anything.
They just
like
buy them because they can. Maybe they passed a bargain.
Because it's cheap.
bin.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's like $5 or something.
But he just waited every Tuesday or whenever there was a big release, and he'd go out and buy that big release for that day.
Yeah.
But then he see something crazy while he was at the store, and he say, "I'm just going to get this too. It's cheap." Or the box looks weird enough for me to get. And he would get these movies that were shot, like, on video. I mean, we're talking about in the 90s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. Shit that was just, anybody can get a computer and shoot with a good camera and edit. And that's what he had tons of those movies. And one day, when he was moving out of here, he came in because I was going to ask him. I said, "Man, let me go through your DVD collections and see if there's anything that I just want to pull back, something crazy." And he's like, "I threw all those away."
What?
Every fucking thing.
Are you serious?
He's like, "Man, I just dumped it over at the Salvation Army." I was like, "What?
Are you fucking kidding me?"
I was like, I almost felt like telling him, that was really fucking rude.
Yeah. What the fuck?
You didn't ask me.
Yeah.
How dare you,
jackass?
man?
I'm in the movies, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure in this pile of shit there's a gold nugget somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's where that whole thing of me talking about, I'm completely digital today, because I remember telling him, I was like, "Man, why didn't you just ask me?" He's like, "Well, I didn't think you liked DVDs anymore. You watch Netflix and you watch everything